Hi and welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to explain how to set up headers and footers on your Excel spreadsheet so that these will show when you print them out. So what a header and a footer is it's a bit above what you can see on the Excel spreadsheet, and it'll print out on the page just above or below, depending on whether it's a header or a footer. So to start with, if you want to set your own one, go to the Page Layout tab. So you might be on the Home tab, move across to Page Layout. And in here, you've got a section called Page Setup. Depending on the size of your screen, this button might be visible, or you might need to go a little bit further. On my screen size, I've got it here, Page Setup. There's a little arrow in the bottom right corner, so I'm going to click on that, and that opens up the Page Setup. So there's a number of sheets and tabs on this particular window. We're going to focus on the header and footer one. So there are two options, a header which appears above and footer which appears below. So you've got a couple of options. You can either pick one of the defaults. So if you click on the drop-down arrow, there are some quite useful defaults. So for example, the page number, page 1 of question mark means it'll show page 1 of whatever total number of pages there are on the sheet. So it will calculate if there's 3 pages, it'll say page 1 of 3 or page 2 of 3 and so on. And there's a few other options you can choose from. Similarly with the footer, you've got, again, page 1 of, you've got confidential, you've got file names and people names and so on that you can choose to put in the footer of your printout. So I'm going to start off by choosing a default from my header. So I'm going to call this the sorting columns, which is the name of my file. So that it's called that. I'm going to use the drop down to pick my file name. And then I'm going to set up a custom footer. So by clicking on custom footer, it opens up another window. And there are 3 sections that you can fill in, left, center, and right, depending on where you want it to appear below the spreadsheet. So you can type things in, and there's also a bunch of buttons here that you can put things in manually, depending on what it is that you require. So I'm going to show you a couple of the most common examples that people would use. So in the left section, you could put something like private and confidential. In the center section, I'm going to put in the page number, so you can actually type in the word page, and in here you've got this first page button, which is the current page number, so page 1. If it's page 1 of 3, it'll say page 1, and then I'm going to say page 1 of, and then I'm going to click the button next to it, which is the total number of pages. So the one with says page in square brackets is the current page, and the one with pages and the S is the total number of pages. So it's page number of total number of pages. And on the right hand section, I'm going to choose today's date, and I'm going to hit enter to go below that and put in today's time as well. So click OK, and that saves that down. So if you look here, it's got the file name at the top, and on the bottom you've got private and confidential, page 1 of 1, and then today's date and time. Click OK, and that's now been saved down. So whenever you go to print this sheet out, that header and the footer will appear above and below your printout, depending on what you specified.